Imagine a world where one empire ruled over vast lands from misty British shores to sun-baked deserts. This was Rome, the eternal city, but even eternity's end. Welcome to Visual History, where we unravel the threads of time. Today, we dive into the fall of the Roman Empire, not just a collapse, but a symphony of ambition, betrayal, and resilience that shaped our world. Picture this. In 476 AD, the last emperor is dethroned, but the story starts centuries earlier. Why did the mightiest power crumble? Stick around as we journey through glory and gloom, revealing secrets that echo in our modern chaos. Let's begin at the peak. Rome didn't fall in a day, it rose first. By the 2nd century AD, under emperors like Trajan and Hadrian, the empire spanned 5 million square kilometers, home to 50 million people. Legions enforced peace, the Pax Romana allowing trade to flourish along roads that still whisper under our feet today. Pause for emphasis, cities like Rome buzzed with 1 million souls, aqueducts channeling water like modern plumbing, and gladiators thrilling crowds in the Colosseum. But beneath this golden facade, cracks formed. Emperors grew corrupt, successors chosen not by merit but murder. The year 180 AD marks a turning point. Marcus Aurelius dies, ending the adoptive emperor tradition. Commodus, his son, steps in, a gladiator wannabe more interested in spectacle than statecraft. The decline whispers, internal strife brews. The 3rd century dawned with chaos. The crisis of the 3rd century, 50 years of anarchy, 26 emperors in rapid succession, most assassinated or overthrown. The empire fractured into breakaway states, the Gallic Empire in the west, the Pomeranian Empire in the east. Inflation soared as soldiers demanded pay in gold, devaluing currency. Barbarians nibbled at borders. Plagues like the Antonine wiped out millions. Rome's army, once invincible, ballooned to 500,000 men, draining the treasury. Diocletian stepped in around 284 AD, splitting the empire into tetrarchies for better control. He persecuted Christians, seeing them as disloyal, but his reforms stabilized temporarily. Yet the east-west divide deepened, foreshadowing splits to come. Like a ship taking on water, Rome patched leaks but sailed into stormier seas. Enter Constantine the Great. In 312 AD, he defeats rivals at Milvian Bridge, seeing a cross in the sky. In this sign, conquer. He legalizes Christianity with the Edict of Milan in 313, shifting Rome's soul. In 330 AD, he founds Constantinople as the new capital's safer, richer, eastern heart. Pause for wonder, the empire officially splits in 395 AD upon Theodosius' death. East to Arcadius, west to Honorius. The west, with Rome itself, weakens under child emperors and regents. Economic woes mount, trade routes falter amid invasions. Goths, led by Alaric, seek settlement but face Roman arrogance. By 410 AD, there at the gates, the west teeters while the east Byzantium endures. But for the Western Empire, the hourglass runs low. Barbarians weren't mindless hordes, they were refugees fleeing Huns from the east. In 376 AD, Visigoths cross the Danube, pleading for asylum. Rome exploits them with bad deals, rotten food for labor. Revolt ensues at Adrianople in 378. They slaughter 2 Roman emperors' armies. This battle shatters the myth of invincibility. Alaric, a Gothic leader baptized Christian, demands land and gold. Rome refuses. In 410 AD, after sieges and betrayals, Alaric's forces sack Rome, first time in 800 years. The eternal city burns for 3 days. Dramatic news shocks the world. St. Augustine pens City of God to explain God's plan amid ruin. But the sack is no end, it's a symptom. Vandals, Franks, and more press in, carving kingdoms from Roman clay. Internally, Rome rotted. The military relied on barbarian mercenaries who cared little for Rome. Emperors like Honorius hid in Ravenna, puppets to generals like Stilicho. Economic collapse. Hyperinflation, abandoned farms, urban decay. Slavery declined as conquests stopped, crippling agriculture. Christianity, once unifying, divided with heresies and church-state tensions. Women gained rights, but traditional virtues faded, or so critics like Gibbon later claimed. By the 5th century, the West was a patchwork. In 455 AD, Vandals sack Rome again, sailing up the Tiber. Empress Eudoxia's plea for help backfires, inviting more woe. Gaul falls to Clovis, Franks, Spain to Suebi. The empire shrinks to Italy, a shadow of its former self. The Huns, led by Attila the Scourge, accelerate the chaos. From 434 to 453 AD, he unites tribes, extorts tribute from both empires. In 451 AD, he invades Gaul, halted at Chalons by a Roman-Visigoth alliance under Aetius, the last great Roman victory. Pause for tension, Attila turns to Italy, but famine and Pope Leo I's diplomacy turn him back in 452. He dies soon after, his empire fragments. But the damage is done. Western emperors multiply like weeds, 10 in 20 years. Ricimer, a barbarian general, pulls strings. By 476 AD, the facade crumbles. Odoacer, king of the Heruli, deposes Romulus Augustulus, the boy emperor, sending imperial regalia to Constantinople. No more Western emperor, the fall is official, or is it? The legacy endures. 476 AD, Odoacer spares the boy's life, pensioning him off to a villa in Campania. No bloodbath, just quiet deposition. Pause, historians debate, was it truly the end? The Eastern Empire continued as Byzantium for another millennium. Germanic kings styled themselves Roman protectors. Roman law, language, and culture permeated Europe. But the West transformed, Latin evolved into Romance languages, feudalism rose from ashes. Factors intertwined, overexpansion stretched resources, lead poisoning from pipes may have dulled minds. Climate change brought cooler, wetter weather, herding farms. Edward Gibbon's 18th century epic blamed Christianity for softening valor, but modern views see migration and adaptation, not just decline. Revisiting the turning point, Alaric's sack of 410 AD. For 3 days, Goths looted but largely spared churches, honoring their Christian faith. Dramatic pause, gold, silver, even the temple's menorah from Jerusalem spoils for their new lives. This event symbolized vulnerability. Pagans blamed Christians for forsaking old gods, but Rome recovered briefly. Valentinian III's reign saw further losses. Aetius' death in 454 led to chaos. The empire's skeleton picked clean. Yet, amidst ruin, innovation sparked monasteries, preserved knowledge, barbarians adopted Roman ways. The fall wasn't apocalypse but evolution, birthing medieval Europe. The climax, not one battle but a cascade. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains in 451 AD against Attila, a desperate stand. Pause for intensity, then, in 476, Odoacer's act seals it. Romulus Augustulus, named after founders and first emperor, ironically ends the line. Constantinople views it as administrative change, but in the West, it's the death knell. The Roman world, once unified, shatters into kingdoms. Ostrogoths in Italy under Theodoric, who rules wisely, blending cultures. But the West never regains imperial glory. This turning point echoes, empires fall not from single blows but accumulated weaknesses, a lesson for our globalized age. In the aftermath, darkness? No, the Dark Ages myth persists, but learning flickered on. Irish monks saved classics. Charlemagne revived Roman law in 800 AD. Pause for reflection, the fall birthed Europe. Romance languages from Latin, Romanesque architecture echoing arches, legal systems tracing to Justinian's code. Christianity spread, shaping morals, modern parallels. Like Rome, superpowers face migration, economic strain, cultural shifts. Is the West declining today? History whispers resilience. Rome fell, but its spirit endures in democracies, roads, even our calendars. The story reminds us, adapt or perish, but from ruins, new worlds rise. So what really toppled Rome? Not barbarians alone, but a perfect storm of division, debt, and demographic shifts. Pause, its fall wasn't failure, but transformation, paving for Renaissance, enlightenment, our world. As young adults navigating uncertainty, take heart. History's great tales teach endurance. What empire's story next? Comment below. If this journey through time inspired you, hit like, subscribe to Visual History for more explainers, and ring the bell. Share with a friend pondering life's big changes. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep questioning the past to illuminate the future.